Okay, so now let's model the handle. But now let's give our Cutlass some thickness. So go to the modifier, go to add modifier and solidify. Type solidify and set the thickness to about 0.03. 0.03 will be okay. 0.04. And set the offset to 0 so that everything is centered from your original plane. Apply it by pressing Ctrl A while hovering around your modifier. I'll select the top and Shift D to duplicate the top. Press Escape to leave it where it was, and press P to separate it. Now let's extrude the handle. We have our handles now. Let's extrude it along the Z-axis. Scale it down a little bit. We want our blade to be to have a grip so that it will be smooth. We want to smooth it around the edge so that it has a little bit of grip. So press GG to move the line a little bit down, then select the top and then scale it down. Scale along the Y-axis to give it that bevel, a smooth edge. I did that so that I could straighten the edge because it was bending. I didn't want it to bend. So now let's add a mirror modifier. Let us set it to the Z-axis. Let's subdivide it rather. So let's subdivide it. Add a subdivision modifier to your scene, to the mesh. And now let's refine it. It looks messy. Our handle looks messy. Add a subdivision modifier to your blade also. Select the bottom of the line and press Ctrl B to bevel it. Press plus to add a little bit of geometry so that I can be more defined. Yeah, I think it's good here. Press Ctrl R to push it further so it is more defined. And use Ctrl B to define the edges. Now we have a handle. You can increase the subdivision if your PC isn't going to go crazy. Mine will, so I'll just leave it at 1. My PC is basically a typewriter, so I don't want to stress it. Add a cylinder to your mesh. Let's make the nail, the fastenings in our Cutlass. Set the vertices to 8. Move it along the wood and add an array modifier. Scale it down, add an array modifier and set it to 3. And set a space that is reasonable. Set a reasonable space for it. And let's boolean it. So now select your handle and now let's give it a boolean. So set the difference, select your mesh and then select your cylinder and then you've cut it. Apply it. Now let's fix the geometry. So now let's select the edges of our circles. Not all the edges, just the rim. So the horizontal side. And then bevel it. Yeah, now you see it looks better. Now let us apply, scale our cylinder, apply the array modifier, enter edit mode, set the selection to individual, and then we scale it down. Let's add a bevel modifier and smoothen it a little bit. Now we have our fastener. Let's shade smooth. Everything looks nice and neat. Now let's give the other end of the fastener. So select all your faces, insert a face by pressing I, and you move the mouse to set it. And now extrude it along the Z-axis. Now let's add a bevel. Press minus to reduce it so that it is just one bevel. And now we have a cutlass. So let's refine our blade better. So now enter edit mode, select the blade, enter edit mode, press Ctrl R, and then push it a little bit closer to the edge so that it is more defined. Now let's make our sharp edge. Press Ctrl R again and then move the line closer to the handle. Add another one and select the edge of your blade. Set the individual selection back to median. Let's do a Ctrl R again to create the starting point of our sharp edge. So now select your sharp edge again and then scale it down to 0. Press Ctrl R and let us refine the edges a little bit more. You can see the sharpness of the blade a little bit. When we enter the texturing, it will look better. I'm trying to give more of that curved edge to the blade, trying to make it look more curvy. Yeah, so perfect. I think it's okay. So now normally with the cutlass you see 3 rectangle sort of beveling on it, and I'm trying to define the blades edge so that it matches the handle too. Enter the edge mode and then select the 3 lines on both sides and bevel. Now extrude it. Scale it along the Z-axis. Scale it down along the Z-axis. Yeah, something like this. It's okay. Not very visible. So now we have a cutlass. So now check out the next video and let's texture our cutlass, make it look more realistic.